My fiancé once texted me, "LOL, you thought I'd cancel the Miami trip for your surgery?" All I had done was ask her to be there for me during an operation. I texted back, "My bad." But later, when she called the hospital, the nurse told her something that completely changed everything. So here's my story. My fiancé decided that Miami was more important than my surgery. So I let her enjoy her trip. And then everything went completely off the rails. I'm 27, male. Fiona and I have been together for 3 years, engaged for 6 months. We live in my apartment, the one I've been paying for since before we even met. She moved in after 8 months. In all that time, she's never paid for more than groceries. We had our whole future planned out, a beach wedding next summer, a honeymoon in Greece, the white picket fence dream. But then the universe decided to step in. Thank God for that tumor. It started like any normal morning, just a routine checkup. I thought I'd be in and out in 20 minutes. Maybe get lectured about my diet again. Instead, Dr. Williams starts poking around my side with that look. The kind of look that tells you your life's about to change. He says we need to run additional tests. In doctor language, that means congratulations, something's trying to kill you. A week of anxiety follows, CT scans, blood work, endless waiting rooms that all smell like hand sanitizer and quiet despair. Then I get the verdict, a benign tumor on my kidney, but it's in a nasty spot wrapped around some important stuff. Surgery is the only option. Dr. Williams explains, you'll be in the hospital for 2 to 3 days minimum. Recovery will take about 4 weeks. You'll need someone with you 24/7 for at least the first week. No driving, no lifting, no being alone. So, I call Fiona from the hospital parking lot. I tell her about the tumor, the surgery date, April 15th, and that I'll need her help during recovery. I can hear her typing the whole time, probably Instagram captions or work emails. When I finish, there's a long pause. Wait, April 15th? That's Miami week, she says. She actually asks if I can reschedule the surgery, like I'm moving a dentist appointment, not getting a tumor removed. I try to explain that this is the earliest slot available, and that I really need her there. She sighs, like I'm asking her to donate a kidney. Fine, she says. I'll ask the girls. They're counting on me. That night, she comes home, drops her purse, makes herself a drink, and says, "So, I talked to the girls. They think it's really manipulative that you're trying to make me cancel." Manipulative. Let that sink in. I have a tumor, and somehow, I'm the manipulative one. She tells me her friend Sarah's dad is a surgeon, and that doctors always make everything sound urgent. It's how they justify their fees. Then she says, "Look, I can't just drop everything, because you're having a medical procedure. I have a life too, Zach." What about in sickness and in health? I ask. "We haven't taken those vows yet," she shoots back. Honestly, this guilt trip she's giving me makes me question if we're even ready for marriage. She tells me to just hire a nurse. So I ask her point blank, "You're serious about missing my surgery for a vacation?" She rolls her eyes. "Stop being selfish. My life doesn't revolve around you." The next morning, she announces she's going to Miami. The girls need me. The trip is paid for. I'm not letting your medical drama ruin something I've been planning for months. I just say quietly, "Okay." 2 weeks later, I send her one last text. "I'm really worried about this. I need you there with me." 3 hours later, she replies, "LOL, seriously? You actually thought I'd cancel Miami for your surgery? It's not even cancer. Stop being such a baby about it." I screenshot that. Then I text back, "My mistake." After that, I knew I was on my own. No family to help. No fiancé. Surgery in 5 days. I tell my boss, Mark. He's been through medical issues himself, so he understands. He sets me up with HR. The HR rep, Janet, gives me her personal number and says, "If you get stuck, call me. This isn't something you handle alone." That night, I start researching recovery. Turns out, the doctor was right. I really will need 24/7 help. Meanwhile, Fiona's busy posting Miami outfit ideas on Instagram. That's when I call Liam, my best friend from college. When I tell him what's going on, he goes, "Wait, your fiancé is going to Miami while you have surgery. Is she mentally deficient? Did she hit her head as a child multiple times? I tell him she thinks I'm being manipulative. He laughs. You have a tumor, you idiot. That's not dramatic. I'm driving up there. I tell him it's not necessary. He tells me to shut up. Liam arrives the day before surgery with a duffel bag, groceries, and a bottle of good whiskey for after I'm off pain meds. We hang out, watch movies, eat pizza. It feels normal. Around 10 p.m., Fiona texts, "Hope everything goes well tomorrow. Try not to be mad at me forever." The next morning, April 15th, she leaves at 5 a.m., gives me the weakest hug imaginable and says, "Try not to die," or whatever. "I'll bring you back something from Miami." Liam shows up an hour later, grinning. Ready to get this tumor evicted, landlord? At the hospital, the intake nurse, Pamela, asks who my emergency contact is. I tell her to change it to Liam. "Your fiancée couldn't make it," she asks. Liam snorts. "She's in Miami, getting her drink on. Priorities, you know." Pamela freezes. "What? Miami? During your surgery?" "Yep," I say. The surgery goes perfectly. I wake up groggy, Liam sitting next to me. He shows me Fiona's Instagram, 15 posts in one day, including bikini shots and a group photo captioned, "Some things are more important than drama." By 6 p.m., my phone is blowing up with texts from her. "Why aren't you answering? I know you're mad, but don't be childish. The least you could do is let me know you're alive." Liam reads them out loud in a perfect Valley Girl voice. I tell him to let her sweat. Then the nurse's station phone rings. Pamela comes back, grinning. "Your soon-to-be ex-fiancée is calling. She wants to speak with you immediately. Tell her I'm sleeping," I say. Pamela smiles wider. "Understood." She comes back later. She's called 4 more times. Says you're playing games, and that she has a right to know what's happening. "Tell her whatever you think is medically appropriate," I reply. And that's when things started to get really interesting. Here's where Pamela earned her spot in the Hall of Fame. Liam had been eavesdropping, and apparently Pamela told Fiona that I was unconscious and unresponsive following surgical complications, and that only emergency contacts or immediate family could get detailed information. Hospital policy. Technically, she wasn't lying. I was unconscious because I was napping. And yes, surgery is always complicated. Liam was my emergency contact. Immediate family by choice. The text thread from Fiona went absolutely nuclear. What complications? Why are you unconscious? Why is Liam there instead of me? "I'm your fiancé," Pamela said. "Only emergency contacts. WTF? Are you dying? I'm booking a flight right now." Liam started reading them out loud in this ridiculous, dramatic voice. "Oh, this one's good," he said. "If you die, I'll never forgive you." He paused. "What the hell does that even mean?" Screenshot. "This is going to be fun," he said. Then, the cherry on top. She posts on Instagram. "Please pray for my fiancé. Emergency situation. Might have to come home early." The comments poured in immediately. "OMG, what happened? Wait, weren't you just posting bikini pics? Is everything okay?" Then Jessica, bless her, a real one, comments, "Didn't you say yesterday he was being dramatic about routine surgery?" That comment disappeared within minutes, but the internet never forgets. Liam, of course, got a screenshot. "Your fiancé is about to learn a valuable lesson about social media," he said. Pamela came back around 10 p.m. with my evening meds and a clipboard full of notes. "Your fiancé called 6 more times," she said. I documented every conversation for the medical records. "What's she saying now?" I asked. She demanded to speak with the surgeon, the hospital administrator, and threatened to call the state medical board for patient privacy violations because we won't give her detailed medical info about someone who's not her husband and who explicitly removed her as emergency contact. Liam was laughing so hard he was wheezing. "She's really doubling down on the crazy," he said. Pamela smirked. Then she started crying, saying it was all a misunderstanding and that she just wanted to know you were okay. Then she started screaming about manipulation and conspiracy theories. She's hitting all the classics. The overnight charge nurse was practically excited to take over. Pamela added, "Word spread. Everyone wants to see how this plays out. I turned my phone off and slept better than I had in weeks. The next morning, I woke up to 89 texts and 43 missed calls. Liam had been documenting everything. She FaceTimed you at 2 a.m. from some club bathroom, he said. Totally hammered, crying about how she made a mistake and needs to know you're okay. I blinked. You told her what? I told her you were in intensive care. Am I in intensive care? He smirked. You're intensively eating Jell-O and watching Rick and Morty. Close enough. Pamela walked in around 4 rounds later, holding what looked like a scorecard. Your fiancé called 18 times last night. The night shift made it a competition. Each call earned points based on how dramatic she got. What's the high score? I asked. Call number 14, she said. She threatened to call the governor if we didn't give her information about a Pennsylvania hospital from Florida. Panic makes people stupid. Pamela shook her head, still half amused. Speaking of which, she's apparently calling every hospital in the city trying to find you. She can do that? I asked. She can try, Pamela replied. But you're registered as private. Unless she has your exact room number and patient code, we won't even confirm you exist. Around 11 a.m., the morning nurse, Kevin, popped in. Got a call from Presbyterian Hospital downtown, he said. Some woman asked if they had a Zach recovering from kidney surgery. When they said no, she told them to check again because someone was lying to her. She's calling random hospitals? I asked. Gets better, he said. She called Children's Hospital asking if they treat adults. When they said no, she asked if they were covering up for other hospitals, because that's how conspiracies work. Liam was laughing, so hard he could barely breathe. Dude, she's lost her damn mind. St. Mary's Jefferson Temple University Hospital. She's working through the phone book, Kevin added. They're all calling us now because she keeps mentioning our hospital's name and demanding the truth. This is insane, I said. This is entertainment, Pamela corrected. We don't get drama this good very often. By afternoon, Fiona's social media had gone full meltdown. Facebook post, emergency. Flying home immediately. Zach is in critical condition after surgical complications. Please keep us in your prayers. My buddy Marcus texted me. Dude, Fiona's post says you're dying. Are you dying? I replied. Texting from heaven right now. They got pudding. Bro, LMAO, he sent back. She said critical condition. Critically bored, maybe, I texted back. Let her dig this hole. Marcus replied, already screenshotted everything. This is going to be a meme. That afternoon, I got a surprise visitor, Natalie Smith. She knocked around 3 p.m., holding a container that smelled like heaven. Natalie's my neighbor, 2 doors down. Professional baker. Runs a specialty cake business from home. Gorgeous, like dangerously gorgeous. Always been friendly, but she's never crossed a line. Always respected that I was in a relationship. Hey, she said, looking genuinely concerned. Liam told me about your surgery when he was getting your mail. I brought you some homemade chicken soup. Liam told you? Wait, you made me soup? Yes, she smiled. And some of those oatmeal cookies you like. I figured hospital food probably sucks. Liam appeared behind me, grinning. Natalie, perfect timing. Our patient here was just complaining about the culinary experience. I was not complaining, I protested. He totally was, Liam said. Come in, come in. Tell me, how long have you been waiting for Fiona to mess up this badly? And don't say you haven't. We all saw this train wreck coming. Liam, I warned. Natalie laughed. I plead the fifth. But seriously, Zach, I'm glad you're okay. Surgery is scary stuff. She stayed about 20 minutes. It was the first real conversation I'd had in days with someone who genuinely cared whether I lived or died. Where's Fiona? She asked innocently. Miami, I said. During your surgery? Yep. Natalie blinked slowly. I'm sorry, what? It's a vacation, I said. I don't even have words for that. None of us do, Liam said. Hence why I drove up from Baltimore to babysit this idiot. I glared at him. Natalie smiled. That's really sweet of you, Liam. Someone had to give a damn. Clearly wasn't going to be Fiona. After she left, Liam gave me that knowing grin. What? I asked. Nothing. Just interesting timing, that's all. It's soup, I said. It's homemade soup from the hot baker who's been waiting 3 years for you to notice her, he said. She's being strategic and I respect it. Shut up. You're welcome. Meanwhile, Fiona's friend Sarah started making excuses about having family in town. The Fairweather Friend Network was falling apart fast now that the drama was real. Day 12. I came out of the shower and found Fiona going through my phone. Who the hell is Kevin? She demanded. Why are you touching my phone? I shot back. Why is he texting you? Give me this. I snatched it out of her hand. Is he making fun of me? She snapped. Fiona, enough. Don't make me throw you out the window with all your stuff. Silence. Then why does Pamela have your number? Get out of my sight. She stomped out, slamming the door so hard it rattled. She was spiraling. My patience was evaporating. Day 15. I was about to call my lawyer when there was a knock at the door. It was Fiona's parents, Maria and Frank, standing in my hallway like they were at a funeral. We need to talk, Frank said. We sat down. Maria immediately started crying. We're so sorry, Zach, she said. What she did, we raised her better than that. We didn't know the real story until Jessica told us. Frank added, Fiona said you manipulated the hospital situation to make her look bad. I was unconscious, Frank. Hard to manipulate anything while under anesthesia. We know that now, he said. We saw the Instagram posts, the timeline. Maria wiped her eyes. She was posting vacation pictures while you were in surgery. She embarrassed herself and the family. 27 years of raising her, Frank said. And this is what we get. We failed somewhere along the line. We're really sorry, son. And we're glad the surgery went well. They offered to help get her out, to talk some sense into her. But I could see they were done, too. 27 years of enabling their daughter's selfishness. And they'd finally hit their limit. She's not welcome at home until she gets help, Maria said quietly. Real help, therapy, consequences, accountability. We told her we weren't going to support this behavior anymore, Frank added. She threatened to cut us off. Maria nodded. Her exact words were, Fine, I don't need parents who don't support me. The next day, Fiona was in my hallway screaming at them, full meltdown, accusing them of taking my side, threatening to never speak to them again. I recorded it through the peephole for evidence. The sound quality was awful, but you could still hear her calling her own parents traitors and manipulated idiots for not supporting her truth. These were the same parents who'd bankrolled her lifestyle for years, and here she was screaming in a public hallway because they wouldn't enable her anymore. Her friend Ashley showed up to pick her up. Ashley had that, I'm only here because I have to be energy. She loaded Fiona's stuff into her car, while Fiona sobbed dramatically about being abandoned by everyone. You'll regret this, she told me as Ashley dragged her toward the stairs. You can't destroy someone's life and get away with it. Ashley gave me an apologetic look. We both knew this was temporary. Within hours of leaving, Fiona was on every social media platform telling her side of the story, long, rambling posts about manipulation, fake medical emergencies, and how she was the real victim. The problem? She was still friends with people from my work, my gym, and my family. People who knew the truth, who'd seen her Miami posts in real time. The comments lit up with people calling her out and roasting her. She started deleting posts, but the internet is forever. People began sharing side-by-side screenshots of her emergency rush home post and her Miami vacation pics. The hypocrisy was so obvious, a blind person could see it. Then the professional consequences hit. HR at her company started getting calls from clients who recognized her. She worked in image management, and now her image was toxic. My coworker Janet shared one of Fiona's rants in our office group chat with the caption, "This is why you don't air your dirty laundry on social media." The whole office sees it. My boss, Mark, just shook his head and texted me, "Dodged a bullet, man." Actually dodged a whole firing squad. 2 weeks later, Ashley finally kicks Fiona out. Apparently, she's been throwing tantrums about paying rent, leaving messes everywhere, and bringing random guys home at all hours. Ashley vents about it on her Instagram story, nothing specific, just a post that says, "Some people never learn boundaries," with a little housekeeping emoji. Next, Fiona moves in with another friend, Sarah. That lasts all of 12 days before Sarah posts something about toxic energy and cleaning house. She's out again. Now Fiona's couch hopping, burning bridges with everyone she stays with. Meanwhile, her job performance starts tanking. She spends more time posting about me online than actually working, and people notice. Her coworkers, her management, everyone. Liam's keeping tabs through mutual friends. He says Fiona's become that person, the one who makes every conversation about her personal drama and victim story. Then comes the final straw. Fiona posts a 40-minute Instagram video titled The Real Story. She's crying, holding up printed screenshots, claiming I gaslit her into going to Miami so I could set her up for failure. She's clearly been drinking, slurring words, rambling about conspiracies, showing text conversations that actually prove my point instead of hers. It's painful to watch, like someone digging their own grave with a selfie stick. Her own extended family starts unfollowing her. Even Sarah's dad, who's a surgeon, comments under her post. Young lady, I've been a surgeon for 30 years. No one fakes kidney tumors for attention. She deletes the video a few hours later, but dozens of people already downloaded it. Naturally, Liam's one of them. That's when the real consequences start rolling in. By month 2 of my recovery, life's actually good. Natalie and I are officially spending time together. Nothing rushed, just taking it slow. She's amazing. She brings dinner 3 times a week, helps me with physical therapy, and never makes my healing about her. The difference between her and Fiona is night and day. With Natalie, I can breathe. With Fiona, it always felt like walking on eggshells. Liam's still crashing in my guest room, partly to help out while I recover, partly because he's enjoying front row seats to Fiona's complete implosion. He gives me daily updates like it's a sport. So, Sarah kicked her out, he says one morning. Where's Fiona now? I ask. Motel 6, on Route 22. You can't make this stuff up. Her work situation isn't any better. She's still at that downtown marketing firm, but her reputation's collapsing fast. People recognize her. She gets written up for excessive personal social media use during work hours because she's literally posting Instagram stories from the office bathroom, ranting about being manipulated and abandoned. Her supervisor even messages me on LinkedIn. Hey man, sorry about your situation with Fiona. She's been struggling at work since the Miami thing. Just wanted you to know it's affected her professionally too. Then it gets creepy. I start seeing her car parked across the street from my building. Different times, always the same pattern. She just sits there, watching my apartment like some low-budget private investigator. Usually around 7 p.m. on weekdays. Sometimes she's smoking. Sometimes just staring up at my windows. Then the notes start showing up. Stuff scribbled on napkins and receipts. Weird, rambling messages like, I know what you're doing with that neighbor. You can't hide the truth forever. We had something real, and you destroyed it for lies. Total serial killer vibes. Liam finds one and snaps pictures for evidence. One of them's even written in different colored pens, like a ransom note. This is restraining order territory, he says. He's right. But it doesn't stop there. Natalie starts getting messages too. First on Instagram, then Facebook, then her business email. Fiona found her bakery's website and begins leaving fake 1-star reviews. Homewrecker. This woman targets men recovering from surgery when they're vulnerable. Predatory behavior. 0 stars. This baker destroyed my relationship by bringing soup to my fiancée. Soup. That's the crime now. The most diabolical crime of all. Next, she'll accuse her of doing laundry. The fake reviews start hurting Natalie's business. Clients start asking questions. She has to explain what's going on. The messages get worse, more aggressive, more threatening. Stay away from what's mine. Homewreckers get what they deserve. I'm starting to get scared, Natalie admits one night. Don't be, I tell her. We're documenting everything. Then the threats turn explicit. Screenshots of our apartment building with captions like, I know where you sleep. Promises to make Natalie disappear and give homewreckers what's coming. That's it. I'm done. I file for a restraining order. The evidence is airtight. Photos of her car, screenshots of threats, those creepy notes. The judge grants it immediately. 500 feet from me, my apartment, my workplace, and Natalie. For about a week, it's quiet. Then comes the grand finale. It's 10 p.m. Natalie and I are on the couch watching Netflix. Liam's in the kitchen making grilled cheese. It's the first normal night I've had in months. Then we hear car doors slam. Footsteps pounding up the stairs. Someone starts hammering on my door like the building's on fire. Zach, I know you're in there. It's Fiona's voice, slurred, desperate. Open this freaking door. I check the peephole. She's swaying, completely drunk. Wine bottle in one hand, wearing pajama pants and a tank top, hair a total mess. You ruined my life. Come out here and face me. Natalie starts recording on her phone. Liam calls 911. I gave you everything. 3 years of my life. Fiona screams, kicking the door hard enough to leave scuff marks. That neighbor turned you against me. It's all a conspiracy. Then she leans right into the peephole, her face distorted in the lens like a goldfish. I know you're watching. Come out here like a man. Neighbors start peeking out. Mrs. Patterson from 3B. Mr. Johnson from 3A. It's turning into a full-blown show. Liam hangs up with 911 and grins. Want to have some fun before the cops get here? What do you mean? I ask. He disappears into the kitchen and comes back holding a container of flour. Trust me. Fiona kicks again, hard. Liam cracks the door just enough to dump the entire container over her head. She screams, covered in white powder, clawing at her face, stumbling back like some ghost fired from a haunted house for overacting. You psychos. This is assault, she screeches. Flour, Liam calls back through the door. Self-defense against home invasion. Also, you look like a very angry snowman. We're dying laughing when the cops arrive. They find her still covered head to toe in flour, screaming threats, reeking of wine, outside an apartment she's legally banned from. I hand the officers my restraining order, the printed threats, and Natalie's video of her kicking the door. Ma'am, one of the officers says calmly, you're under arrest for violating a restraining order, public intoxication, and harassment. They assaulted me, she shrieks. The officer clears his throat. With flour? Ma'am, I can tell. Let's go. Neighbors are watching from their doors like it's primetime TV. Mrs. Patterson's clapping and chewing something. As they walk Fiona to the patrol car, she's still screaming. Karma will get you, Zach. This isn't over. Liam leans against the doorframe, still holding the empty flour container. We'll be waiting, sweetheart, he says. Last image of my ex-fiancée, covered in flour, handcuffed, being shoved into a police car while screaming about victimhood. Should have been the cover photo for How Not to Handle a Breakup, a masterclass. The arrest makes the local news. Woman violates restraining order, gets covered in flour during domestic dispute. Her employer sees it. Her friends see it. Her family sees it. She loses her job within 48 hours. Her professional reputation, already hanging by a thread, completely disintegrates. 6 months later, she's living in another state with relatives who barely tolerate her, working retail because no marketing firm will hire her. Occasionally, she still posts about the injustice she suffered. Meanwhile, I'm fully recovered. Natalie and I are planning to move in together. Liam's got enough blackmail material to last decades. And every morning, I thank that tumor for showing me who Fiona really was, before I made the biggest mistake of my life. Turns out, the best revenge is simple. Getting someone covered in flour and hauled off in handcuffs. GG.